race fans, let's talk a little modified action. And I'm telling you, the cream is rising to the top, and the big contenders are finding that second gear. We got some first-time winners, which is always super cool. Let's get to Ryan's recap, and then we're going to get to this week's power rankings. So your national point leader, Shane Sobraski, a pair of wins, and noticeably faster. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Took advantage of the front row starting spot, punched his ticket to the Afro Race of Champions with the win over at the Gondikla Ford Grand Rapids Speedway this past Thursday, and then he made it 2 on the week, winning his 15th Wissota mod feature from the 6th starting spot down at the Big O in Ogilvie. Red Cedar Speedway and Rice Lake, a pair of wins for the hotshot there, Shane Halapka. This cat has won a pile of races in the Midwest mods, but this is the first time that he's doubled up on a weekend in a Wissota mod, and he kind of dominated over at the Red Cedar Speedway. He knows how to get around that place, and then he followed that up by driving by both the 57 and the 40, drove by them both to win over at the Rice Lake Speedway, which is not an easy task to do. Halapka with a great weekend. Victory Lane Speedway up in Winnipeg, Lee McRae, he drove to the win from the front row in his first career feature win. Congratulations. Now, that's according to my race pass stats. I looked to see if I could find anything else on there, but I believe that's a first career feature win for Lee McRae up in Winnipeg. Tip of the cap to you. Eagle Valley Speedway, second straight win at Jimtown for Michael Truscott. He won the 20th annual Lonnie Lou Memorial over there this past Friday night. Congratulations to him. And this is a guy, kind of an interesting season. I expected him to be racing more. I'm not really sure what his plans are for Invite, but he's sticking to that home deal over there. And we'll see what, I guess we'll see what happens here coming up soon. Emo Speedway up in Ontario. They had the Ray Memorial. They had a doubleheader up there. Night number 1, 17-year-old Cameron Brown. He scored his second of the year, and this is a guy that, man, I hope the borders open up so you guys can come down and play during invite time. We miss you guys. And night number 2, first career feature win, Chris Bowman. He got it done up there, so congratulations to him as well. Now, let's jump on over to the Gondikla Speedway. This was a really good race. Again, jump on a Dirt Race Central if you haven't seen this feature. It was good. The Hermantown Hammer, Daryl Nelson, he got his 4th of the year. He was good. Al Uten looked really racy. I believe Sobraski got 2nd in this, but Uten found another gear, and we'll talk about him in just a second. Halverline Speedway over in Proctor, 4th of the year for Danny Vang. And what's going to be interesting, he's got a late model ride. He's ran it once, maybe twice, I think once for sure. And he's going to run that late model. Is he going to stick with the mod and do double duty? Is he going to only focus on the late model? Man, that'll be tough to find out. Car counts are down up in northern Minnesota in the modifieds. And if he jumps into the late models, that'll build that up. But it's going to be really ugly for car counts in northern Minnesota next year. Madison Speedway rookie contender Tony Condole. He got his 3rd of the year, but his first win at Madison in a modified. Congratulations to Tony Condole. ABC Raceway, we talked about him, Al Uten. He got his 1st of the year over there at the ABC Raceway in Ashland. And I'm telling you, this cat right here, he's been racing. He's been doing it a long time. This kid Brady is looking really good as well. If you remember, Al won the Labor Day Shootout last year. He won the Northern Nationals the year before. He could be peaking at the right time, figuring things out and getting in a rhythm. Don't sleep on him come invite time. He's proved that he can be right there in victory lane. SK Speedway, Devin Fouquet. Him and Jake Smith made the rare trip over there. I don't know what to say on that one. I was really surprised. I don't know why didn't he just go closer to home, but it is what it is. But he left there with his 5th win of the year, so congratulations to him. Cedar Lake Speedway, 2nd straight win for Hensley, Adam Hensel, and he kind of put a little bit of a beat down on Daryl Nelson. He had a really good race there, battling for the lead. He just put the afterburners on and was gone. So Hensley looking good in that MB. Dakota State Fair Speedway, Trevor Anderson. He parked in victory lane. And I believe that's his 6th of the year for Aero Nation. A great win for him on the big track in Huron. Greenbush Race Park, how about this? Josh Polio, his 3rd win of the year. Congratulations. And he's really put together a solid season. I talked to him a couple of years ago. He's like, yeah, I just need to get 1 or 2 to kind of keep my confidence up. Well, you got 3 this year. Season's not done yet. You could get a couple more yet. Congratulations, Tonto. Hibbing Raceway, how about this? 11th on the year for Johnny Brooking. He appears to be ready for invite season. Of course, he won. We'll talk about that in a minute. Won the Advantage RV Tour, so he's fast against some fast cars, but he got her done again in Hibbing. So let's get to it. The August 26th edition of the BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show modified power rankings. At number 10, Mike Anderson. 5 of his last 6 in the top 2, 4 straight seconds, right? He's lacking wins. I said 10 at the beginning of the year. He's at 7. He's 3 away. Lots of time left. I still think it's going to be over that. I'm going to go with the over. Mike Anderson putting together a quietly good season. At number 9, Mike Stearns. He had some bad luck. Really good to see him make the trip east. He went to the Gondikla Speedway. He went to the Grand Rapids Speedway. It just didn't go well for him. He had some bad luck there, but he's been extremely fast ever since bringing out that MB. Stearns solid at number 9. Number 8, Daryl Nelson. Not sure which 44 should be here because Hensley kind of made it look bad, but I'll say this. I don't know where Hensley's going to run the invitationals at. Daryl Nelson will be out, a lot of really good ones up north, and he will be an absolute threat. He's a guy right there that can show up at Hibbing at Labor Day. He can show up at the Silver, Northern Nationals, Legendary 100, any one of those, Red Clay Classic, and he could park that 44 in Victory Lane. I expect to see at least 1 or 2 big invitational wins for the Hermantown Hammer, and we'll find out real soon. At number 7, Dan Ebert. Mostly USMTS stuff, but I assure you of this. When he unloads at a Wissota Special this fall, whichever one it may be, that 60 car is going to be battling for the win. He always does. Number 6, the 1 TPO of Tyler Peterson. Yeah, I faded him a little bit. A couple off weeks here. He needs to rebound, right? He needs to rebound. Extremely fun to watch. And one thing I'll say about him, he's not afraid to race anyone, anywhere, anytime. He's traveled all over the place, followed the series. You never know where he's going to end up. Showed up in Menominee, which surprised the heck out of me. He ran good. He was on the podium there. He looked really good over in Menominee. So Tyler Peterson, in the conversation, he's 2nd right now in the national standings, and it's really close between him and Brandon Kopp. But just lacking wins just a little bit, but, they're coming. At number 5, Brandon Kopp, right? The National Rookie of the Year honors pretty much locked up for the 22. He's put together a hell of a season, and he's a guy right here. So his goals are not done there, right? His dad's a legend. Don Kopp has won a pile of races, right? Won a lot of big invitationals, and he's kind of one of them northern guys where you look at the Silver, the Classic, Labor Day, Northern Nationals, 100, the Punky, Red Clay Classic. You look at all that, that's kind of like the historic invitationals for, I guess, our area. And that's his goal right now. He wants to win some of the big shows, and in doing so, if he does that, that could jump him over the 1 TPO. He's got a legit shot for the top 3, maybe even 2nd in the Wissota National standings. Hell of a season for Grizzly Adams out there. At number 4, Johnny Brooking. He's also starting to put together a season. He kind of struggled at the beginning of the year, but the second half, he's kind of found the rhythm. The Advantage RV Mod Tour champ, 3 tour wins on that. He's trending up. And if you remember, he's another guy. He won the Northern Nationals. He's won the Labor Day Shootout. He's won the Silver. He's won the Wissota Classic. He's won all these races. This is a guy right here that is a legit contender at every single invitational. At number 3, Jody Bellfine. Kind of had a bit of an off week, but if an off week's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I think he'll take it. It is what it is. I mean, it, kind of rained a little bit there, Proctor, whatever. But when the money's on the line, he performs his best, right? So when it's just regular shows, I don't know if he's disinterested or what, but if it's just a regular paying show, he's good, but he's not as good. When the money's on the line, that's when he performs. What time of year it is? It's invitational time. Jody Bellfine is going to be a guy to watch. At number 2, the Iron Man, Shane Sabraski. He sounds like he might have found his issue. I talked to him here this week, and he says, I think I found something wrong with my car. And I've been saying it for a month and a half. I'm like, there's something wrong with that car. It's slow. It don't even look good. I mean, if it wasn't Shane Sabraski, he wouldn't even be in the podium. He thinks he found something, and that is really bad news for everybody else, right? Because if he was on the podium with it like not handling good, y'all in big trouble, right? That just is what it is. And he's been extremely fast. Looking at this, he's been on the podium a bunch, right? Absolutely on the podium a bunch. Looking at this right here, 11 of his last 12 on the podium, and the car didn't even look fast. I'm like, now it looked fast. It was noticeably faster this past weekend just on the eye test. And with invitational season coming, he's got a pretty comfortable lead in the national standings. I don't think anybody's catching up. Shane Sabraski at number 2. And at number 1, by just the narrowest of margins, and these two are going to see each other. Actually, a bunch of these folks are going to see each other here for the rest of the year. But I'm going to put Ashley Anderson at number 1. And he didn't look very good in the nominee. Kind of had an off night. That happens, right? But let's face it, out of all year long, he's only been off the podium 3 times. I mean, he's had a hell of a season. And looking at his stats here, 10 wins in 21 races, 18 podiums. He won one night up at I believe it was the border battle up in Superior. This guy is really fast. And I know for sure he's going to the Silver 1000. I don't know where else he'll go that weekend. I know that he'll be at the Punky. Obviously, that's home. He usually goes up to the Red Clay Classic. This is a guy here that is really talented. And it's just by the narrowest of margins because Sabraski is kind of coming a little bit. But for now, the top spot in the August 26th edition of the BuyRacers.com One to Go Show Modified Power Rankings, the 81 Ashley Anderson.